Yo, I'm back. Foul hooked Whitey by himself. No booty again. Doing this shit solo. Brandon, I know you're having a great season, and I just want you to know, brother, I'm proud of you. You know, you're in your third season, and you're coming into your own out there. I've heard that. People see you, and I just want to give you those props from our podcast. So, buddy, get back when you can. Finish it out hard. Good morning. Gosh, what am I going to talk about today? I kind of went over a couple of different subjects because I don't know if my audience, and let me just quickly report this. Fly Fishing Nielsen ratings are in. Over the last couple of weeks, we've got over 100 people globally listening to us. Fuck, how about that? I mean, 100 folks, man. I mean, that's more than I would have expected, and trust me, I realize how fucking small time that is. But it's not small time. And we love talking to our folks out there, and we're going to keep it up. So what I'm going to talk about today is I'm going to talk about a good dude and how fucking lucky I am. I've used this pulpit here to kind of rant on shit, and I've ranted on shit that really needed to be ranted on. But over this past weekend, I got blessed by a dude. And, I'm a lucky guy because I come in contact with such great fucking people. I mean, there's some assholes out there. But the assholes, I'll talk about an asshole later, I think. The assholes out there are minimal compared to good people that walk in here and do business with my fly shop. And, the man I want to talk about this morning is a guy that I'll call Big Joe. His name is Joe, but I'm not going to give his last name because he probably wouldn't want that, and we don't need to. But this is a gentleman who is been in my shop quite a bit over the last few years. He's a Wyoming guy. And, my store in Billings, Montana, I'm a lucky fucker because I get so much quality Wyoming business in my store. I mean, if all of a sudden my Wyoming business dried up, my fucking, my volume would go, I mean, really. I mean, Wyoming does a lot for the retailers in the greater, Yellowstone Valley region. So we love Wyoming, folks. We really do. So Big Joe comes up here once in a while, and, Big Joe's always kind of talked to me about a creek down in Wyoming that I've always wanted to fish because, I'm a brown trout guy. And, I've heard that this smaller creek has got, trophy brown trout in it. So, fuck it. I've always wanted to do it. One problem. This creek where those nicer trout are, those browns, is 100% private. There's a lot of people that come into my shop that don't really understand the luxury they have fishing in Montana because of our high watermark law. I mean, fuck, it's hard to describe what the high watermark means because it means fucking everything. For what I do in my state with a fly rod, the fact that my state has secured a high watermark, it's like a gift from fucking Jesus, man. I mean, it just is. It's shocking to think that there's passionate fly anglers like me in other states that don't have a high watermark law. And for those of you that don't know what a high watermark law is, it's pretty simple. If you legally get into a stream in the state of Montana, fishing access, state, county, federal maintained bridge, once you're in that stream bed, you can fucking take the yellow brick road, man. I mean, you can go up or downstream as far as you can walk, as long as you stay on rocks or in water. And Wyoming does not have that. Wyoming has basically property owners own their stream bed. So, you can float some fisheries, of course, but you can't even fucking anchor. In a lot of areas in Wyoming that are floatable, The second that anchor hits that stream bed, that rock, you're fucking trespassing. And there's some dicks in Wyoming. There's some property owners in Wyoming on some very popular, highly floated fisheries. Those motherfuckers are standing up on their hill with a fucking camera. And you know, they got the sheriff's deputy's phone number on fucking speed dial. Bink. I mean, you know, there's real access and property issues in a lot of states, and there is in Montana too, but we have that high watermark law, which is really that law which has been supported by the Montana Supreme Court on a couple of challenges. That law is there because of a former state legislator by the name of Kendall Van Dyke. And Kendall lives in Helena, and he represents the Montana Land Reliance. And I don't want to get into all that, but Kendall, I got no idea if you fucking listen to this, but if you do, after all these years, brother, I'm still really thankful to you and the work that you were able to do across the fucking aisle in the state of Montana in order to secure this. Because, you know, when I got invited by Big Joe to go down and fish this stream, I've wanted to always fish in Wyoming. That stream is 100% private. It don't matter if you get in at a bridge. You can't. You can't even look at it in Wyoming. It's against the law to fucking look at it. That's how private this shit is. So Big Joe stepping up and inviting me down there was like, I'm going to take advantage of this shit. So I end up going down there on Sunday morning, and, you know, I'm not going to say where this is because there's dicks out there. You know, I did some, you know, I floated the Shoshone River outside of Cody, Wyoming, and some fucking dude or dudette gave me this fucking message about me posting a fucking 3-second video of Heart Mountain. Oh my God, dude, what, you got to post fucking landmarks? It's already busy down here, Bubba. Like, motherfucker, you ever heard of the internet? Have you ever heard of the internet? People know there's good fishing in Cody, Wyoming, dude. Okay, they just know. Okay, there's no secrets anymore. There's no secrets anymore. So stop with the ridiculous comments about me showing a little bit of fucking landscape. So some dude with a fucking pencil and fucking piece of paper in Iowa's fucking, you know, getting a new fishing spot in Wyoming. Give it a rest. You can't fish Wyoming. Wyoming's fucking private. Not everywhere, maybe not most, but it's a lot of private. So me going down to fish this small stream with Big Joe was, I mean, goddamn, I hate to say it, but, you know, gave me an erection. Man, brown trout. A lot of streams in Wyoming, let's just say there's a lot of emphasis on cutthroat. And, you know, cutthroat trout are beautiful. They're fun, gorgeous trout. I mean, it's just they're a great species. But I'm just not a big cutthroat guy, you know? I mean, if I can fish for browns over cutthroat myself, personally, I do it 10 to 1, 100 to 1. I mean, it's just my preference. So the fact that this stream that Big Joe took me to is all brown trout was just the fancy. I meet Big Joe outside of this small community, and we make our drive in 2 separate vehicles. And I'm just like, the geological surroundings of where we were fucking breathtaking. We're making our way from this small community, and I first get my little peep at this creek, and I'm just like, that's why I'm here. That's why what Big Joe did for me, or is doing for me, is such a big deal. So we drive onto this lady's property that Big Joe knows. And the second I put my boots on the ground, holy shit. Ground fucking moved with grasshoppers. So Big Joe's just sitting there kind of giggling at me because he kind of sees that, like, I'm just like, I'm about, 12 years old, and I just got my first Playboy. That's how big this is to me, because I'm a small, medium stream fly fisherman. Doesn't mean I won't fish big water, but it's just not my preference. So as we gear up, Big Joe's just super accommodating. And, get this shit. Big Joe's not going to fish. Big Joe's avid. Big Joe's into it. But Big Joe's not going to fish. He's going to give this to me. He's going to give this to the fly shop guy. So, it's nothing short of a fucking honor to get a chance to be where I'm at. That drive into that property was so breathtaking as far as the mountainscape, the unique geological formations, which, I don't really necessarily have a lot where I'm at. So, it was cool. This beautiful little farm that we got a chance to drive onto, rig up on, and make our 100-yard walk to the water. So I'll continue to talk about this in episode 2, but thank you very much. End of episode 1, fishing the 307, foul hooked whitey out.